Hey guys, welcome back to the Rise and Shine Show. Today, my guest is Heili Howell, an IFBB Pro athlete, fitness coach who runs a holistic health and fitness coaching program. Now, Heili is Taiwanese American and has won multiple bodybuilding competitions in the last few years. Now, she's going to share with us today on how she went from being called fat by her family to struggling with her own body image to now becoming a pro athlete while helping other Asian women to transform their body and inner self. Hi, Heili. So good to have you on our show today.
Hi, Lynn. I'm so excited. I've been looking forward to this since like Christmas. So I'm so happy to be here.
Yeah. And so just so the audience know, we met on Asian Hustle Network group. It's a Facebook group for all Asian people out there. Really love that network. I know the owner. That's just so genuine. And it just, they bring together amazing people like yourself who I reached out because I was like, wow. For me, I've always been into business, in entrepreneurship and building businesses. But one area of my life that I've always struggled and admire others is in the health space. And seeing your photos and achievement in the health arena, I was like, I think this will be really great to bring you on the show to talk about your journey, because it's still a kind of success that we all aspire to. And so, Heili, I want to hear your story on how did you get into your fitness journey? How did you become that pro bodybuilder? What motivated you to starting? So first question is, your background story.
Yeah, absolutely. So, man, I'll get like a little bit vulnerable here. So it pretty much started when I was really young. My mom, she was very controlling with like my eating and stuff, Asian moms. And I think she was really afraid I was going to gain weight because I've always been one of those girls that I like put on weight easier than than like the skinny girl. Right.
Yes.
So she was always kind of restricted and like watching what I was eating. And my brother, he used to make fun of me. He was like, "You're a fatty, you're a hippo," like seriously all the time. And I would just kind of laugh along. But deep inside, there was a lot of insecurities with like my body image and like the way I was eating. And it just never felt like I was good enough. At a young age, my body image was like a big issue for me. And even going to school. So I grew up in Taiwan all the way up until high school. And all the girls are like super skinny, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I was bullied at school for my looks, literally because I am half Caucasian, and they would make fun of my hair, make fun of like my body. So I would always wear like really long t-shirts to school. So I think since my teenage years, I always had this idea of like, I want to be really strong one day. I want to be fit, but I never wanted to be skinny because I already knew like it wasn't really like possible for my body type. So I was like, I want to build myself up one day and never have anybody bully me again and be able to protect myself. So that was like the motivation behind all of this, after all these years. When I moved to the States in 2013 to go to college and to pursue, the American dream, I started going to the gym. And it was really funny. When I first started, it was like a week into the gym. They were like, "Hey, you won." I was like, "Won what? I never win anything." Yeah. And they're like, "Well, you got a personal training session."
Okay.
The sales pitch. And I was all for it. I was like, okay, yeah, no, totally. This sounds great. In that 30 minutes, I completely fell in love. I was like, whoa, okay, like this is my jam. Like I loved it. So I signed up for personal training, and they were like, "So Heili, what are your goals? What do you want to achieve?" And I showed them this picture of this bikini competitor that I was obsessing over. I was like, this is what I want. This is what I want to look like one day. And I had no idea what it would take to get there, what I had to do to get there. But I was like, this is what I want. I was set on that goal because I was just so inspired, even though it looked, very kind of out of this world, right?
Yeah.
Like having abs and like just that perfect body. But I saw so many women achieve this goal that I was like, why not me? So 7 years later, here we are. I've done about 6-7 shows now. I am an IFBB Bikini Pro. So it's been a really long journey. There's been struggles along this journey too. Maybe we'll share that a little bit later.
I love that story. I can relate so much because I too was kind of felt that I wasn't fitting into the Asian, kind of body type. But looking back, I was definitely not fat, like I was just not malnutrition looking, let's say. But somehow Asian mentality, they really expected your frame or whatever to be ridiculously skinny. And so I'd love to hear your feedback on how did your mums and your brothers' words and things really damage you? What was the impact of that?
Oh man, I mean, really just feeling not good enough, right? It felt like no matter what I did, I just couldn't fit in. And it felt like I was just outside of this world, like I couldn't fit in with all my friends at school when I lived in Taiwan. And when I moved to the States, like it felt better. I could blend in a little bit more. Just feeling like a sore thumb, just sticking out all the time. And that's really how I felt growing up. And especially like the part where my mom would really control my eating.
Tell me more when you say controlling your eating, like what does she actually do with control?
Yeah. So for example, like if we went to McDonald's, which we would go to sometimes, we would get fries and my brother would be eating the fries just fine. And she's like, Heili, just have 1 or 2. Okay, well, that's it for you. That's all you're gonna have.
And how old were you from then when she was controlling you? Like how old were you then?
11, 12. They're all the way up
quite young.
Probably 16 or even now. And literally she's probably gonna watch this, but literally my birthday last month, I was, enjoying the holidays, eating my cookies and stuff. And she was like, another one? You're gonna have another one? And I'm like, yes, I am.
Yeah, I think our Asian parents, it's like they love us, they care about us, and then they try to control because they're kind of like living their life through us, And I remember my mum, not skinny either, was quite chubby for her age and nationality, and yet she was controlling me too, like in a way, not controlling, sorry, she never controlled, but she was always saying negative things to me. And I'm like, how could you tell me that when you don't look like that? Like you have a problem too. And so, I think it's the Asian mindset or mentality, thinking it's okay to care by picking all the flaws that you have. Is that what you think as well?
I do think so. And the crazy part is my mom is actually very skinny. Like when I stand next to her, she's very, very skinny. She's always been that way. And when I stand next to her, I actually feel bigger, which is also, it's a little bit like I do feel that insecurity. I'm like, wow, I feel like macho standing next to my mom. And, now that I've actually like built myself into who I am today, it feels a lot different. I'm like, I actually built this body and I'm proud of it. But for many, many years, it was tough sometimes standing next to my own mom, who was twig skinny even to this day. So a lot of work around just accepting your body.
Yeah. Do you think that maybe your mom also is fearful of being fat herself and then inflicting that fear onto you?
Possibly. I think genetically, as Asians, there are those genetically gifted ones who are just skinny, and she is one of them. But one thing I have learned from her, and I am grateful for, is she has always been very, very mindful of her eating. Which is really interesting. Not a lot of people just have that. And she's always been that way. But, like I just said, most people are not that way. We have a relationship with food. We enjoy food. And she's always said, I don't celebrate with food. So she's one of those odd ones that has been able to just take care of herself in that way. But she's also had a very sensitive body. So she's listened to her body very well. So there is something to learn there, but it has been tough growing up, because I haven't been that way.
Yeah. Well, considering that she was mindful, she does care, and she knows what she's talking about, is there anything you would like to have changed with your, when you were growing up?
Yeah, of course. Of course. There's always some traumas that are left behind from the parenting and child relationship. And it's something to heal when you grow up. Like that's your duty, is to like bring those things up and heal them. But I mean, I guess maybe more compassion, and I don't know. I know she did the best she could because who knows? Like, I maybe would have really been obese. It really is possible.
Yeah.
And now I am grateful to an extent to like what she's done for me, and the things that she's taught me about mindfulness. But I think just that restrictiveness of like somebody always overwatching what you're doing, that was a little bit harmful for me.
Yeah. It's a very hard question because I too, when I look back at my childhood thinking like, do I want to change anything? I wish my parents were nicer to me, not so strict, not so this. Then I wouldn't be so motivated. You know, I wouldn't be trying to fight against that and say, I'm going to prove you one day. There's only so much you can change because you don't know what would happen if you were spoiled and they gave you all that love and then you were just so comfortable that you didn't do anything. But anyhow, I remember you telling me also that you also became bulimic, you know, like the journey to your health is not straight line. And I too experienced bulimia. I mean, from the age of, you know, in primary school or in high school, I started dieting and taking diet pills. And then it was inevitable that I discovered bulimia. I didn't even know there was a name for it. I just discovered the technique and I was actually proud. I was like, oh my God, this is amazing. You can eat all you like and you throw it up. I shared it with my mom and she was like, what a waste of my food.
Oh man.
Wow. So she has no idea about it either. And I didn't know what it was like. And so to me, it was a lot more of a mental problem and kind of quite isolating suffering that it took me a long time to share because it was embarrassing. So yeah, tell me about your journey and how you overcame that.
I mean, if I can share a little bit going back to even how it started. So this is one component. It's kind of like a love-hate relationship, you know, and that's how you grow, right? With anything, it's got to be like that challenge where it's like, oh, I hate you, but I know this is helping me. So that's kind of what bikini competitions did for me. So after my first show, I actually won the overall over like, there was like 96 other girls, which it still blows my mind to this day. I'm like, how? But it was awesome. But the crazy thing was, after I won that show, Lynn, I got so effed up. I don't know if I can swear.
Yeah. Swear all you like.
I got really effed up after the show. I was just gone.
In what way? Physically or your mind? Or
like I like drank and, you know, stuff like that. I went and partied to like numb myself.
Yeah.
And I just felt like this emptiness in my soul. Like, okay, I won. I achieved my dream goal, this dream body. Now what? Right. So I started to eat everything uncontrollably after like dieting for like 4 months. You know, it is an extreme sport and that's what it requires. And that's what I chose to do. But it was my first time. So I was a newbie and I just couldn't stop eating. And it got to the point where, like, I remember there was one night I was eating in the kitchen and I had roommates at the time. And this is super embarrassing. Like, I started to just rage the cabinets and I was eating their food. It was mine. Like, and I was eating the most random stuff, like stuff I didn't even enjoy, just to stuff my face.
It's like you got possessed or something. Like, it's just not you anymore. Yeah.
That's exactly how it felt. And I remember, like, I can still feel it. I think I still have like that, like trauma in my body that I'm still working through even to this day. But like my foot was like tapping on the ground and I was like trembling because I was like, dude, I can't stop. This feels messed up, but I can't stop. I was so scared. I was literally just out of my own body. And I remember the next day I had to like call into work. I called my brother, just raging, like just crying. I was like, I did it again. Like I sounded like an alcoholic. I was like, I did it again. Like I can't stop. Help me. I was literally like asking for help. I'm pretty sure I was like kneeling on the ground, like, please, like, help. And that went on for 6 months, probably into a year. And that's actually when I started to do personal development. And that really helped me. It was called the Landmark Forum, and where you get to distinguish like the story.
Yep.
And I remember the seminar leader, like, that's what I was sharing to the group. I was like, hey, everyone, I'm struggling with binge eating and I really want to get over this, you know? And he was like, you know, Heili, you're going to help women with this one day, whether
Oh.
you know it or not. And I felt like a sense of peace. I was like, yeah, I know that because I'm never going to give up on this.
Mm.
And I've never once blamed doing bikini competitions for my binge eating and my struggles, because I know it has been a pathway and an opening to the past traumas that I've had that I didn't even know was there, you know?
Mm.
So I've been really grateful for my journey, and I'm a lot stronger now to this day. Like, I don't binge eat anymore.
Yeah.
Sometimes I still emotional eat. I'm human, it happens and it's okay. I'm grateful for my journey because it lets me empathize with my clients and other women, because if my journey was just a straight line and it was just perfect, I wouldn't understand, just the beauty of life, of the challenges.
Oh, I love that story. Yeah, I can relate so much. And I must say that I don't need to be in a competition to have experienced something like that, but the one common denominator that I see on both of us is there are past trauma and hurt that we haven't dealt with. And we're just, using whatever out there to help us in a bad way. But this is where it comes down to that myth that I want you to bust. Is it true that people who do bodybuilding tend to, it's not good for you, it's dangerous for you, or it's mentally not good? Is that such a thing, or is there a healthy way of doing it?
Yeah, I love that. So that is such a wonderful question for where I'm at right now, because last year I took a whole year off from competing, and it's been the first time I've actually taken a break in the last 3-4 years. And if you would have asked me 2 months ago, maybe 3 months ago, I would have told you, yeah, it was very mentally challenging, and it is extreme. It is something that not everybody should do. And now, where I'm at right now, I'm actually going to be competing again in April after taking a year off. I had a really, really deep conversation with my coach, because the whole reason why I took a year off last year was because I wanted to enjoy life. I wanted to travel. I wanted to have flexibility and enjoy food. That was a big one. I was like, I just want to enjoy food and not have to feel bad about it. And when I told him that, I was like, that's what's holding me back, because the last few shows, it was really, really challenging. And, I wasn't able to have carbs or whatever. It was really hard on my stomach. And I have a fear of it now. And he was like, you have to make it a lifestyle and not focus around food. And that was such a big breaking point for me, because it is the lifestyle that you choose. You can choose into having that dream body and living a certain way and choosing into that and detaching from certain things, which is like food. I love my food and I still enjoy it. But there is a difference with being emotionally attached and also being able to just use it as a tool and use it as a way that serves your goals. So I am working towards that. I'm working into making bodybuilding into my lifestyle, and that is that. So yeah, it's not for everybody.
Yeah.
It really isn't, but there is that balance for sure.
Yeah.
There's a way to do this where you can still enjoy life, enjoy your foods, and feel really good. I like it a little bit more extreme.
Yeah. So tell me, what drives you into doing this competition? Is it the challenge? Obviously, you also have a fitness business, so it only makes sense. The achievement you have in that area will really benefit your business as well. But yeah, what's your motivation for continuing to do these competitions?
Yeah, like you said, just the challenge.
Yeah.
Because last year, I think I was similar to you. I was still working out. I was still meal prepping during the week, but on the weekends, during the holidays, I would go and have my food, or I would go to restaurants and I would kind of go ham a little bit.
Yeah.
It's great. But I also felt a little stagnant. I felt like I wasn't really growing. I wasn't challenging myself. I was just going through the motion. And now that I have a goal again, I am pushing myself at the gym. I am going above and beyond and doing things that I haven't done in a year, because I have one, it's having that tunnel vision of what you want to create and leveling up to your highest potential, one step at a time. And for me now, it's not even about the show. It's not even about stepping on the stage. It's about going beyond my limits.
Yeah.
And being able to see a different package that I bring to the stage and just being so proud of that.
Yeah, that is so inspirational. I agree with you because for me, I'm a typical person and it took me a long time to enjoy the gym. And, my goals used to be just going 3 or 4 times a week. And then after you do it so well that you eventually go, I want to go more. And so now I'm doing 6-7 days and it's so enjoyable. It's so enjoyable to the point that I truly believe this year is my year to get my abs.
Yes!
So getting my abs has been like many, many years in the making of like the dream, but I never believed it because I never had the habit to build to support it. But when you get better at it, this goal of abs becomes very achievable. It's no longer that hard. And I can already foresee that once I get there, there is no doubt that I'll probably get into some sort of competition because it's the next level, right? It's kind of like I wanted to be that 40-year-old mother that looks like that. And it's more for me, it's that challenge. Right? I can imagine why you continue to do what you do. So what are some tips that you could give to others who are struggling with their health and fitness and, not happy with their body? And, if you could look back and try to cut out all the nonsense that you tried and did and could shortcut it a little bit. Not to say that things are easier to get there, but if you could give any tips on the best ways to achieve their fitness goal.
Well, I'm sure you've all heard this before, but this really is such a key element is having a strong why.
Mm-hmm.
Just really, whether it's your family, your kids, or just for yourself to like level up and reach your highest potential and just to feel free and happy in your own body. Like you get to live in this body once, right? Like really having that strong why. And like you said, Lynn, like believing in it.
Well, what's your why? I'm curious to know what's your why that motivates you so much?
I think it really stems from my past. From being bullied, from being judged, from being like so controlled by my mom. Like I wanted to just be like that self-creator and to be able to just be strong and
you want to inspire others that you can do it, they can do it.
I do. Yeah. It's really awesome now, like being able to be that person because before, like I said, when I would see all these girls on Instagram, it's like, why not me? And why not you? I'm human just like you. I started just like this skinny fat girl. Why not you? So that really motivates me. And especially for Asian women, I think there is a huge stigma to where, we feel like we can't build a booty. We can't build this hourglass body, or like, we feel like it's our genetics, and I love just being able to show people like, no, it's not. You can do it too, because I have done it. So I think that is a huge motivator for me now, is like inspiring others to reach their full potential. But tip wise, so having a strong why, really believing in yourself, because there's proof all over the place that you can do it too. And also having like a clear structure. I think it's very interesting. Like we all go to school to learn how to get a job. We all learn how to make money, take care of our families, but most of us have no knowledge or understanding on how to take care of our body, right? How to love ourselves or how to even talk to ourselves. None of that is being taught. And now as adults, we actually have to go seek this type of education. So I would say really stop wasting time. Stop looking for that next challenge. Just really finding something that works for you and do the work. Like learn what nutrition really means. What are proteins, fats, carbs? Like really learn it for yourself and for your future family and for your kids. Learn how to move your body. Like these should be the fundamental basics of learning these things, learning how to create your world, through journaling and meditation, right? Like creating yourself and not just being a slave to just your job and like living day to day. So hiring a coach, Really having a program, having that consistent support, like stop wasting time because time is just passing us by.
Yeah, I love that. And I think one thing I do regret is not hiring the professional help from early on. I would have spent many years of just dieting and exercising in the wrong form and doing all that. And it's just a waste of time. You think you can do it yourself, but you really can't. And I think any success I have so far in business or in health and fitness, it's always that I seeked and sought professional help. So tell us a little bit about the coaching that you do in your business as well for people.
So me and my partner, we run a program together. It's a holistic health and fitness program, coaching program, where we teach how to build a lifestyle, like how to build a healthy and fit lifestyle. So we literally give them the tools on how to understand your macros and how to create creative recipes and have fun with your food and still eat foods that you enjoy, all while making progress. Because I hear so often people think that they have to just eat chicken and broccoli to like have abs or make progress. And of course they fall off because it's just unsustainable. Or people doing intermittent fasting or keto, but nothing ever lasts because it's not really built around what they enjoy and their lifestyle. So we customize everything to what, they prefer, and also learning the fundamentals. And I think that's a pitfall with personal training, like in-person personal training, which we used to do, is that our clients were so reliant on us with watching their form. They weren't even really paying attention to if they were doing it correctly. And they would come back week after week, doing the same thing over and over. But when they left the gym and they didn't have our guidance, they didn't even know what to do. Right. So it's like taking that ownership and that responsibility. So we give our clients the workouts, and we do like video feedback and we help them with their form, but it's taking that responsibility and ownership to go to the gym on your own while having us, we give them accountability, but they start to learn and they start to listen to their body and start to really feel that mind muscle connection on their own while having our support. So also the mindset aspect of it, I think that's going to be the biggest part, is like believing, right? We have a lot of clients coming in where they don't believe that it's even possible, as much as we tell them. So it's like helping them reframe that into how can you love yourself more, right? Because the whole purpose of working out is, of course you look great. That's the byproduct of it, but you want to be stronger so you don't have to worry about lifting furniture, and you can live longer, have like stronger bone density and be able to play with your kids and have amazing energy.
Yeah.
And that's the core of like self-love, is just taking care of this only body that you have, and also eating in the right ways because it feels good and it helps you recover. It gives you energy, not just because, we need to shed body fat. It's really not about that. So
yeah, totally love that.
Help them build a lifestyle around it.
Yeah, I really love your holistic approach to it, because I definitely have seen at the beginning, I was quite shallow with exercising when in my 20s. It's like, I just want to look good and prove to people. But now it's I love it. It's like, if I don't exercise, I don't feel good. And when I feel good, it, transpires into my business and everything else. My whole life feels a lot more fulfilled because I'm ticking the box, in all aspects. And you've only got one body, and I'm like finally clicked in that this is the body that I want to take care of. So how do people connect with you?
Facebook is going to be the best place. I am most active on Facebook and Instagram. Facebook.
Yep. I will share the link below. I'll leave the audience with last question from you is, what do you want the world to remember Heili for?
That's such a beautiful question. I feel like my biggest mission and message to women out there, especially Asian women, is really to just love yourself from the inside out and really accept who you are and believing in yourself, and not putting so much pressure on like your outside appearance. Because I really believe, and from my own experience, even when I had the perfect body, it didn't necessarily make me feel whole or perfect or complete. And that's when we really need to do the inner work and give ourselves that time to breathe, to meditate, to understand why we're even wanting to take care of this body, like really just to love oneself.
Yeah.
And that's my biggest message, because like I said, like looking good and looking a certain way is not the end all be all.
Yeah.
It's not. It should be the byproduct of loving yourself.
Oh, that is wonderful. Thank you so much, Heili. Really enjoyed our conversation today, and I'm sure a lot of people will be inspired. Look, you've inspired me. You didn't just win one award, you've won multiple bodybuilding award, and I've just got my one small goal of abs this year. So you definitely inspired me. Well, thank you so much. I'll speak to you soon.
All right. Thanks, Lynn.
Well, thank you so much for watching, guys. Hope you've enjoyed this episode. She has definitely inspired me, and I can't wait to also have that six-pack like her. Well, thank you again. And if you have any questions or comments, love to hear in the comments area below. Otherwise, I'll see you in the next episode.